So my name is Isaac Chan. I'm a software engineer by profession, and I'm also a co-founder at City Farms Limited. So in our farm, we have integrated quite a number of technology. First, in terms of the energy, we are using solar to power everything around our farm. And how it actually works, we have an automated solar pump that will automatically kicks in when like there is low water level, or maybe we need to flush out the system. Apart from that, we also have this device here that we use to measure the nutrients level around this system. So how it works, we'll have our agronomist. So what he will do, he will just come and just put it in one of the holes around this particular system. So we can start with this row, move to the next one until we get like a balance, a nutrients level around this particular system. In terms of how technology have shaped up how we approach things, we want to do more of like really smart farming. Yeah, so what we are aspiring to do is to integrate all the system. As I mentioned earlier, currently we have quite a number of manual procedures, like measuring the nutrients level. So we ought to automate these particular aspects of the system. So in the future, we are planning to integrate the IoT, the Internet of Things, whereby we will be employ sensors around these particular tubes, and we'll be able to get this accurate measurement in terms of how much nutrients do we need to feed onto the system, how much fresh water, how much oxygen level we need to like change in the system. So once we integrate all these, then the data that we'll be able to get, we'll be able to employ predictive analytics to be able to now, even if we are applying the nutrients, we know what amount, or to be exact, how much can we apply without just feeding them onto our system. Yeah, so in terms of the size of the space, you need to set up this particular structure. As you can see, it's not very big, but it's able to accommodate really a lot of crops. So let's say you have something like 1/8 of an acre. You can be able to set up this exact system, and I'll just take you through in terms of the capacity we have here. So if you look at one row or one pipe like this, we have like 40 plants or crops. So if you compute that, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So ideally on this single setup, we have like 400 crops. Okay, so that applies to this other structure, but the one we have at the farthest end is a bit elevated one, so it actually carries more, but total for the whole 3 rows, we have like 1,760 crops in here. So compared, if you were to do this in an open land, then probably you need something more than 1/8 of an acre. At City Farm, we really aspire to do smart farming, which is also climate, which is able to promote the management, or just to incorporate the aspect of the climate change. So how we are actually doing that at City Farms, as you can see with our system, we don't use soil in the first place. We don't use any pesticides that, if compared to other traditional farming system, they will be washed to to the rivers and it will go somewhere. But at City Farms, we have employed a really closed loop kind of a system, whereby we really are cognizant about protecting the environment, and that's why we are all going organic way in terms of managing our chemical use around the farm. And also we are using a solar energy in this case to be able to power up everything within the farm. So for efficient management of the running of the operations within the farm, we have a number of laborers. So we have 1 agronomist and we have 2 farm managers that they just make sure like we don't have any weeds within. All these pipes are clean, because lettuce is very sensitive crop. Then we have also 3 guys that we need to do the harvesting, As you can see, the harvesting process of removing this from removing the crop from this cup and washing it, it's actually quite intensive. So we need like 3 people to do the harvesting. Then just to mention in terms of some might ask like how are they crop space like this, what's like the idea behind it, and how comes we have like different columns. So between each crop it's like 1 foot, and the idea is to give the crop the space to form the bush needed to mature very well. Then in terms of the space between each row, here we need each crop to get enough sunlight. So, and that's why you can see like with other system, we don't actually have anything in the middle because they could not get enough sunlight. So that's why we kind of space them. Then you can see it actually slanting going upward, meaning if you sort of raise anything vertical here, then the sunlight goes direct to this particular crop. This one will also receive its enough dose of sunlight. What I could say to the youth, myself, I don't have any background in agriculture. I have, my background is all in IT, but at some point I ventured into farming. So what I could say to the youth is that whatever you put your mind on, you can actually do it to the level that you want to really, like, you know, imagine. Myself, I've really learned a lot in agriculture. I didn't know, like, you know, lettuce have so many varieties. I just used to the green one, we call it Christine, which I normally like take it with burgers. But after venturing into this, I get to like really understand a lot. And the myth that, you know, agriculture farming is really dirty, I don't actually see it, because farming is like, if you have a passion in it, you can actually do it without getting really dirty, because there is so many ways to do farming. And I think that the youth can actually contribute a lot in this particular aspect of our economy, because we really have a young population as a country and as a continent. And with this young population, these youth can provide the labor we need for the agriculture. They can actually be entrepreneurs and start their own agribusiness. You must just get the right team. You don't need to have a background in agriculture, but there's someone who actually knows more about agriculture. So get a good team and you can do agribusiness. With every startup, there is always quite a number of challenges, because ideally it means venturing into the unknown. It's like you want to do something that is in concept, it's just in drawing, but you want to actually make a business out of it. So for us as City Farms, there were generally 3. First was setting up this conceptual idea to make it actually work and function. And since it was a really new idea, we didn't even have a person who actually know how to balance this thing for water to loop around the system without so much intervention. So that it was quite difficult for us to kick off, because first we had to understand and get someone who can actually set this up to our specification. The second bit challenge was on the production aspect, and as you can see the system, the plants, the way from propagation to maturity to harvesting, it takes quite a series of steps. So let's say we cannot propagate 1760 crops at a go. So it means like we have to do them in phases. Sometimes you do it in phases, but they don't overlap very well, in that you find that others are over mature, others are maturing, and you need to harvest them. So that was our second challenge. The third was on the market bit, because we are all new to this, and we had to figure out how do we take this idea now, plant the crops, harvest them, and be able to actually sell them. So we needed to understand the aspect of supply and demand for us to even know how much crops do we need to propagate in a week. So those are the key aspect of some of the challenges that we faced. In terms of moving forward and our vision and what we want to like where we want to take city farms in the next 5 or 10 years. As you can see, the system, it's currently is fully functioning, and we have taken a lot of lesson. We have failed in quite a number of aspects of it, but with time we have actually learned, and in the next 5 years we are looking at the export market. Apart from that, we want to not just be producing the lettuce in this case, but to be able to set up this for other people, so that we can, if you have a small piece of land somewhere, we can come set up the whole greenhouse, manage it for you, and also market, take your crops to the market. So that's also what we are looking at in the foreseeable future.
So if you're out there and you also believe in this idea of smart agriculture, but you don't have the know-how, that's why City Farm Systems is here to help you. So we partner with households or with individuals or with communities who have a piece of land that they are not utilizing at all, or they are underutilizing. Because remember, this is a venture, it's a venture where you can relate it to real estate, where you put up your houses and you're earning rent from them. This is a similar case, but now it's even more climate resilient, and it's also environment friendly. So if you're someone out there, we have a website. We also have other social handles, including LinkedIn, where you can check us out. And we soon will be active in other social pages, including Twitter and all. So the services we give you is that we bring in our experts. So let's say you have a piece of land, but you don't even have the capital to set up. You don't have to worry much. We have different ways of realizing this, in that we can do a revenue sharing model where we can come set it up for you at zero cost, but then you pay us slowly based on the revenues generated. Or if you have the capacity, we can just come set it up for you. You pay the entire 100% of the setup costs, and then we support you through production and marketing. And others are able to just pay 75%, others are able to pay 50%. So based on how we come and we analyze your capability, we always partner, we put this together. And it's always a win-win situation for us between City Farm and our partners.